Greetings, fellow air guitarists. Tiki here.
And Jacob Wile, too.
And welcome to another episode of Tiki's Universe, the show where we react and respond to mostly Steven Universe, but also today, Star versus the Forces of Evil, and also very soon, Milo Murphy's Law. It's getting crowded in here, Jacob. It's getting crowded.
We'll be making room.
So we just got done on a very bumpy recap, kind of thanks to me just fucking up the facts and whatnot.
And me being a bit rushy.
Right. So we're going to try and make this one a little more concise, a little bit more clear. So Jacob, Girls' Day Out, it was a fine episode. I'm not a big fan of it, though. I think it's probably one of the weaker ones in season 2 so far.
I've seen weaker in this season, so I can concede to that.
All right. So, basically, I mean, Miss Skolnick is kind of it brings back a lot of the characters from season 1 because it kind of brings back Miss Skolnick and also Jana. And if we've seen them at all, we've only seen them like very briefly in season 2.
This is also Jana's biggest appearance, other than that one where she was with the book.
Right. Yeah.
Where she was the one feeding Gloucester pudding.
Oh God. Pudding, Marco.
Grace the sky.
Oh man. Okay, so Star gets thrown into detention because
unfortunately, no, Gloucester was not in this episode.
No, and he wasn't in either episode this week, which makes me an unhappy Tiki.
Tiki needs his Gloucester.
I need my Gloucester fix, man. Okay, so Star gets thrown in detention this episode because she lets out the class hamster Marisol because in some sort of like weird protest of freedom because like she's bored and he's bored and Marco is definitely bored. Don't drag me into this. So because of this, Miss Skolnick gives her detention, and then we see a colorful cast of characters in detention kind of being led by Jana. There's
my favorite one is that German or whatever goth girl who wants to decapitate her.
Oh yeah, it's a goth girl, Pan Pizza. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Pan. But no, Ingrid, yeah.
What's the Ingrid who wants to decapitate her teddy bear?
I wanted a noose. You live today.
I thought it said guillotine.
Oh yeah, you're right. Guillotine.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's Sergey, I want to say, which is the kind of the fat kid.
I didn't really remember their name. I didn't really know their name.
Well, he just seems kind of like a pleasant guy. He just wants to watch wrestling. You know, not much with him.
He's
kind of pathetic and wheelchair bound and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, so it's not important. So what is important is this whole Jana's plot for the mayor of detention. So let's break this down, Jacob. I kind of wrote it as Jana, as soon as she sees Star walk through the door, she quickly writes order of detention on this piece of paper and then just kind of comes up with this scheme kind of on the fly to manipulate Star into doing stuff for them. What do you think?
It's not past her.
Yeah.
We've seen how sneaky she has been as she was in the past.
Just to put into context, what do we think of Jana overall? Because I think in season 1, I was not a fan of her.
I like her, though. I mean, she's just like this overall sneaky, kind of snarky character. I kind of like that.
Okay. To me, the thing I didn't like about her in season 1 was kind of like the creepy obsession with Marco angle. I didn't really think that played very well.
And I think it was just like she was like teasing him. That's how I thought.
I guess so, but I kind of read it more as like a Helga Pataki sort of thing. But
not nearly as obsessive and creepy though.
No. And I think this season, this episode is kind of an overall big improvement for her character for me. So. Like, after this episode, I'm kind of down to see her again, you know? Like, I'm like, okay, that kind of redeemed the character in my eyes a little bit. So what is the big conflict, Jacob? What is the big struggle that they have to go through? What is the big object of affection that they have to go on this epic conquest to achieve?
Batteries to watch wrestling.
Oh, my God!
Yes.
So epic. So honestly, Jacob, this episode is kind of like it's very Breakfast Club-esque in a way with the detention and the misfit kids and everything. And then it's also, I don't know, it's very self-contained. Like, it's very much kind of a filler episode. Outside of, like, okay, Star and Jana are friends now, which is a nice little development. But anyways, we see Star gets an idea to go to Oscar to get the batteries to his keytar. Oh, yeah, man, my keytar.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't actually couldn't magic up batteries.
And then, meanwhile...
She magicked up Jana's tattoo.
Yeah, true. Well, let's not question it. It's a cartoon.
So she can magic up some batteries, or magic up a working TV or something.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe she just kind of wants to do things the human way. That's kind of that was one of the themes she was exploring this season. So I don't know.
That is also an excuse to go see Oscar.
Exactly. Well, I would definitely put it at the latter half. I mean, come on now. Look who we're talking about. I mean, no one can resist the sexiness of John Heater's voice. You know what I mean? I mean, come on now.
The Liger, gosh.
He's totally banging, Jacob. Totally banging. Okay. So meanwhile, we get like probably one of the most pointless subplots I've ever seen on this show, which is Marco having to retrieve the hamster. Issue number one I have with that: why didn't the teacher just get Star to retrieve the hamster instead?
I don't know. Maybe she thought he was involved. Maybe thought he was involved as well. Who knows?
I guess it just bugs me. It's like Marco is just like very, very like unfairly just being maligned this whole episode.
He wasn't really in trouble. It doesn't like he was forced. It doesn't seem like he was forced to do it. He was just like doing it to clean up Star's mess or something.
Well, no, it's like the teacher specifically like orders him to do it though.
I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't like him.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways,
but I just like the part I like about it is how he got his hand stuck in the vest, and that was pretty funny though.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the whole Jackie Lynn Thomas thing because it's just like, oh, Marco being embarrassing and awkward, Jackie Lynn Thomas.
I meant the whole thing where he got stuck in general.
No, I know. I'm just kind of recapping the Jackie Lee Thomas thing. But
and then the main part is when the fireman took the picture of it.
Okay, the firemen were the best part. I think that was definitely the best part of the subplot because, especially the woman firefighter with the saw, like Marco's like, "Is this dangerous?" No, I'm gonna be fine, man. I'm cool.
Yeah, that was like.
So that was funny, I will admit. But I just felt so bad for Marco though, because because A, he's got like all these kids just scattered around taking pictures of him. There's a big mob. And then B, he's saying like, finally I don't have to walk around looking like an idiot. And he's still got the pipe attached to his arm.
Yeah, poor Marco.
So I don't know. I guess it's just like I'm not really a big fan of humor where it's just kind of like the character has cool things done to him when he doesn't deserve it. I'm not a fan of that type of humor, but whatever. It does lead to a couple funny circumstances. I'm kind of.
It's not like he's outright being hard because of it.
Right. Okay, so we get a little bit of setup for Miss Skolnick being scared by the snake in the potato chips can. We get a really funny bit where Skolnick's kind of contemplating to herself if she wants to open the can or not.
Yes. Ooh, my favorite flavor, sour cream and ham.
Well, I'll only eat just one. No, you're gonna eat more than one.
But doing your water aerobics recently, you deserve it.
Oh God, it's really fun.
I can't imagine her doing water aerobics.
I know. Okay, so that's gonna come back in a good way. So anyways, Star and Jana reach Oscar, and I'm sorry, Jacob. I really like Star and Oscar's interactions.
It basically turns her into a double idiot.
Yes. But I just think it's very funny because Star is usually so confident and so self-assured. And then Oscar's just like, hey, what's up?
I like it better in this season more because he actually in the first season, he barely even had a personality other than just to be an object of Star's
I mean, to
affection.
tell you the truth, I think when they first wrote him, I wouldn't be surprised if they only wrote him for one episode, for the Muberty episode, because that was the first time he really appeared, and then after that, they just kind of ran with the idea of Star having a crush. I imagine they probably liked Jared Heater or John Heater, and John Heater liked working with them. So
I think he appeared in an earlier episode, though.
You might be right.
It was the one where Marco tried to cheer her up. That's when he first appeared. Remember, because he didn't call Oscar didn't call.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like I said, I think it might be one of the, and I don't know for sure, but it feels like it's one of those situations where they didn't know he was going to be as big of a character when they first wrote him.
Yeah, because the recurring appearances of that season 1, he really didn't have that much of a personality other than
Right.
here. I mean, I'm still not a big fan of his character in total, but I like him a lot more than I did in the first season. That's for sure.
Well, that's an improvement. So he's very laid back. He's he sympathizes with the wrestling. He's got a Wrestle Rama shirt on or something like that.
There's no fighter assessment in the wrestling art.
But you can't give him the batteries that he's jamming on because he's got a jam, man. But he's got like a whole trunk full of keytars, and one of them's got usable batteries.
Well, yeah, naturally.
Of course.
The life of a musical artist, have a bunch of the same instrument in your car.
Mm.
Totally banging.
So Star just kind of gets infatuated with Oscar's stories about where he got all the keytars, which are really not great stories at all.
Like I got this one next to that library that sells really good. I got this one near the library that sells really good tacos. I'm lined up.
That's an amazing story, Oscar.
Yeah.
And then Jana, we kind of forgot to mention that they have to be back at detention by 1 p.m. because Miss Golden's going to check on him by then, and Jana's like, Star, we got like 5 minutes.
Yep, so they search, find one that eventually works.
Yep, and then and then they summon a giant 6-legged porcupine because yes.
Because it's the first thing that's stuck into Star's mind. You're like, not a teleportation spell or anything like that. A giant porcupine.
And then I really love the moment where they conjure the rainbow bridge. That's really cool.
and then they cut the cheer squad to form a giant ladder or giant pyramid. Like, those girls are so weird if they all walk away in a giant circle.
And then they're hidden behind the lockers, kind of going back to your, or I'm sorry, you didn't have the locker thing. You had well, there's another image. I'm sorry, I'm fucking up, Jacob. I thought you had the locker image, but they're hiding behind the lockers, and Miss Skolnick's coming in, and they're just about to. Skolnick's just about to open the door. Then.
But by this point, they already got the hamster back from. Yeah.
Sure.
I think we got it. And then she's like, and then.
Oh, Marisol, you're such a cutie.
And that's when she opens the can and then lets out the snake.
Yeah, because she wants to get some snacks out from Marisol. Because, he deserves a snack.
Yeah. So we point out the fact that one of Star's distractions earlier was to basically use a giant bazooka cannon.
Right. So that gag's really well timed. I really liked how the snake in the can came back, and it allowed Star and Jana to go back into detention. And
Well, then got to Mars and everything okay. And they ended up being able to watch wrestling after all.
Yay!
And Jana was hereby named Deputy Mayor of Detention.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's just kind of break down. Like, one of the things I really like about this episode is that it does kind of bring Star and Jana together as characters. This is the first time we've really seen them interact in like a story that went on throughout a whole episode. I'm sure they've had like brief interactions here and there before this, but I don't know. I really liked it, Jacob. I'm not a big fan of this episode. I do think it's probably like at least in the bottom half of what we've seen out of the season so far, but I'd be down to see more of Jana going forward. I'd even be down to see more of these weird detention kids as well.
Me too. As far as weaker episodes go, I'd put it above Red Belt. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh god, Red Belt is definitely yeah.
Now talk about a pointless subplot.
Okay, Jacob. So I guess I'm trying to. So we still got any final thoughts on this one before we do some speculation?
Well, nothing other than what we said before. Solid episode, following up the weaker. But I definitely say of the weaker episodes and the less, of the more low key episodes, it's definitely higher than some of the others. Such as,
Sure.
as I mentioned, Red Belt.
This is episode 16. Wait, when they say episode... No. Okay. No, this is episode 8. We've still got a long ways to go. I'm sorry. I'm counting from the 2
Well,
episodes.
it's like episode 8, part 2, kind of in a way.
Right. So we're getting close to the halfway point in the series, I guess. In the season, I mean. So actually, it looks like all the episodes that are listed on Wikipedia, the last one... Like, we could go over all these. Like, the last one is Spider with a Top Hat, which is very exciting. That's
an very interesting title.
Yeah, that is a very interesting. That's the last one we're going to get, according to Wiki, until another hiatus. But we've got a good chunk of episodes to go still.
Well, we only announced like a month worth of episodes. And
Sure.
Like when they're going to air and all that.
But the interesting thing about Spider with a Top Hat, though, is that is the direct middle point in the season right there. That's episode 11B out of 22 episodes. So, but next week, Jacob, we're getting Sleepover and Gift of the Card. So,
yeah. So, based on what you've seen about Sleepover, what do you think's going to happen there?
I don't know. Maybe they'll continue this episode, and maybe Jana and Star are going to have a sleepover, much to Marco's dismay, perhaps.
Who knows?
Because I could see Jana. I could see them running this thing where Jana and Star are friends, and then Marco's just really pissed off about it, and it kind of driving a wedge between Star and Jana, or Star and Marco, I should say.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they'd take it that far. It'd be interesting to see, though.
I'm just saying, like, Star, like, there's a very antagonistic thing going on between Marco and Jana, and so if they do run with this thing, now that they're friends and everything, if they do run with it, I'd like to see it. I think it could lead to some good character stuff. So that'd be my best guess with Sleepover. Other than that, I don't know, maybe fucking King Butterfly comes over and has a sleepover, and that seems like something he'd do, right? Like, oh, Star, what makes a king? Why can't a king come over and have a sleepover with his daughter?
That would be awesome.
By the way, Jacob, something we forgot to bring up in the last podcast. Did we get official confirmation on the king's first name? Is the king's first name River?
Yeah, I think that was revealed in the last season, actually.
Okay, well, regardless, that's an awesome first name for the king, River. I love it.
so if the whole marriage, him taking the last name of the queen is true, his full name would be River Johansson Butterfly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyways, folks, Jacob, I think this podcast went a lot more smoothly than the last podcast, so at least we got 1 out of 2 this week.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have any speculation about Gift of the Card also?
Well, the synopsis basically says that Marco must use a gift card before it expires with catastrophic results.
Okay, that sounds like a fun setup. I'm down.
Plus, the poster for it shows that strange lizard creature we see in the opening credits, so who knows?
Interesting.
They're not talking about like the new title card, how it features like different characters. It features like some kind of strange green tall lizard creature. And according to the poster, that's supposed to make an appearance in this episode.
Cool. All right.
So who knows what'll happen? Gift card with catastrophic results.
So decent chunk of episodes this week. Definitely not the strongest in this season's run so far, but
I need to point out something from the first episode.
Right.
They're eating corn.
What?
They're eating corn again. Remember, they're pointing out the fact that they have a bunch of corn again.
Yeah.
I just realized that they were eating corn. Like, I know it's just a minor detail, but.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I know exactly what you're talking about. Jacob, I feel like we should just re-record that other podcast, but I don't have time.
I know, but that's why I just thought I'd mention that here.
No, but that's a great point. That's a great point. They do bring up the corn quite a lot. All right, so on that note, I'm going to end it. Thanks for joining us, folks, and God damn it, eat your corn, because corn is a vital and essential part of life.
Don't